Welcome back to Business in a Box. I'm Maria Marquis, and in this section, we're talking about meetings. Now, in the last video, we took a look at how to set up an area of your Coda doc to make sure that everyone is ready before the meeting. Everyone's prepared, people can flag important topics. But in this video, we're going to look at how we can actually use Coda as our note-taking surface to help us really keep track of everything that's going on. Now, when it comes to notes, I fully understand that it is a very personal preference-driven option. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to use this for notes, and then you can decide what works best for you. The first step is to just head over here, and we're going to create a new page. So, meeting notes. Option number one is to just create a separate page for every meeting. So I could go ahead here, choose to add a subpage, and we could call this June 20th, 2020 meeting. We could add then another page that's June 30th, 2020 meeting, and be able to then drag and drop these around so you've got them in there. That's the first option, and then you can collapse and subtract them just like that. Option number one. The next one is to have one page that acts as your rolling meeting notes. So let's go ahead and choose meeting and notes. And this is going to be our option. Oh goodness, option two. There we go. Now what we could do is we could just start typing. And maybe here we've got, this is for June 20th, 2020. And what we could do is we could go ahead and make this be like a larger heading. There we go. And then here are more notes. Look at all these notes. Oh my goodness. And then when that meeting is done, you can see this little shish kebab right over here on the side, and you just choose collapse content. Now you've got that and it can open and close just like so. Then when we have our next meeting, we could say this is going to be for June 30th, 2020, and here are the notes for today. And again, we can collapse and subtract them. So you could have this be a rolling kind of infinite scroll page of all the notes that you're working on. So both of those are very document focused, very text focused, but sometimes you might want to add a little more structure to your meeting notes by taking them in a table. So let's go ahead and make another page, call this meeting notes, and this is going to be option 3. And now what we could do is we could do / add table. We're going to make this a net new table. We'll call this meeting notes. And then here we can have the date. We'll go ahead and make this be a date column. And then here we could have, this maybe is the attendees, so who was there. We can make that a people column. And we're going to allow multiple selections in this case. I also like to just display the avatar. It only shows the picture instead of all the names as well. And then you can have the notes. So now we could say, all right, this is going to be for June 12th. The attendees were Maria. And then I could go ahead and double click on this particular note area. Notice it gives me this little handle. I can now expand that to make a nice big cell. And here are my notes. Yes. And we could even add things like bulleted lists, or maybe we want to add checkboxes. Task 1, task 2. And then when we're done taking notes, we just click done. And now it's here listed in that table. You could even, if you wanted to, decide to hide this column so it's not showing up here in that raw area just by going to columns and choosing to hide the notes. So you can just open them up every time you go here to that note for the 12th, and you can then see all of the details. So that's the other one here, this idea of just opening up that cell and taking notes. Another way that you can do this is kind of by combining that text-based focused with that table focus. So this is actually something that we've done on my team quite frequently. And here's how it works. You have a raw notes area. We'll go ahead and make that nice and big. And so what we could do is we could just start typing. These are the notes. So we're in that meeting, we're taking everything. Then at the end of the meeting, we add it to the meeting notes table. So we can just go ahead and select that. I'm on a Mac today, so I'll do Command X, but if you're on a PC, Control X works just fine. You could then add the date, you could add the attendees, and you can then open up that cell and just paste the notes in here. So now we've still got that full record, but we have just one page that stays nice and clean and we can work through. Now, why I think this combo is interesting and worth a look is that you can then add some structure so you can really understand your meeting notes a little bit better. So let's actually take a look at what that means. For example, we could just add a column, and maybe we want to have this be the meeting type. And here we could make this a select list just by going like so. And maybe this could be general, project, team, whatever we want to do, sort of social, whatever it is. You could include the names of different projects there. And now what we can do is we can say what kind of meeting it was. And we have the date and as well as this. So now we can see an understanding of how that's working. We could also then decide that we want to maybe include more details around sort of the feeling about something, further notes, further links. You can expand this out to get all of that contextual information about your meeting. Then what you can do is you can add some filters so you can explore the meeting notes. Right now we just have 3, but if we have a team that's going for years and years, we're going to see more and more here. It'll be a lot harder to understand and navigate, which is why we can add some controls. So for example, maybe we want to be able to sort our meeting notes just by the type of meeting it was. Well, we'll just go ahead, click right there, choose filter and interactive filter, and just create a control. So automatically we have a drop-down menu and we can decide what we want to see here. So notice it's just showing me general. I could also see everything. We could do the same thing with a date. Maybe we want to go ahead and filter here, interactive filter, and now we can go ahead and see everything from the past, yesterday, last 7 days, 30, last year, the present, what's going on this week, future, as well as doing a fixed date range. So now we can explore it based on that as well. Now, when it comes to meeting notes, again, it's all about your personal preference. So figure out which one of these is going to work best for your team, try them out, see how you like it, and you also can always make a combination of any of them. So have some fun, find the note-taking style that's going to be right for you and your team, and I'll see you in the next session.